Hey, what's up? Brandon Lansky here. Welcome to the Weebly. This is going to be my very first tutorial on this blog, so I really hope you enjoy learning how to create this really cool effect. Really nice time in there, right? So, it's really simple. It's going to show you just how to use a few techniques in After Effects, nothing too crazy, and hopefully this will just make you feel a little more comfortable working in here. Just give you some exposure. Alright, so let's hit Control N and make a new composition. Now right here is your composition settings box, and this is where you make the size of your video. So right here we have some presets that will pretty much hold all of your needs. So right here we have HDTV 24, which is probably the most generic size. Alright, and everything here looks good. Alright, so to start off, let's make a new layer. So we can either hit Control Y, or what we can do is go up to Layer, New, and Solid. And right here we can, I kind of like this teal. Let's do this right there. Alright, and then let's go ahead and make a new solid, and we'll make this a little bit darker. I kind of like this mareenish dark blue almost. Very cool. And now let's go to our ellipse tool up here. Now say this for you is just the square. What you can do is that you press and hold, you click and hold, and whichever thing that you release on, that will be the tool that you select. And you go to the center here, click and hit Control, make a nice little vignette. Now to anyone here who knows what a vignette is, you know that this doesn't look right at all. So we're going to come down to mask here and we can fix it. Now normally in a vignette the dark part is on the outside and we have it in the middle, so we can just go right here to the mask and hit invert. And basically what a mask is just a shape, and we're saying that what we want is either inside or outside of this shape. And that's where the invert part comes in. So now we go to this mask and we hit F to bring up our feather control, and we just go ahead and feather this out nicely. And vignettes just kind of add a nice dark edge. If you want to be able to see what this looks like without this yellow line here, what you can do is click next to our time indicator. We have our toggle mask and shape path visibility. Now when we click on this, this will just go away and we can see what our final output looks like. We can either make this very hard or very soft, and I think right about that looks good. That. Alright, so already we have a nice little backdrop going on here. So we click up here on the text tool, and we'll just type in something like twist. Alright, and we'll make this, we'll make this black. Alright, cool. And now here's actually something that can be a little bit tough. I'm not sure where this is going to be on your After Effects because I put it here. But if you do have an align menu, and you might want to put a little bit of effort in, I'll probably make a tutorial on how to get this here. But really helpful. You can just kind of align things to the center, really quick, really easy. Very fun little thing. Alright, so basically we now have our basic effect. And so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to select all of this by clicking and dragging, or I can hit Command A or Control A if you're on a Windows computer like me, and I'm going to right click on the selected tracks and hit Pre-Compose. And what this is going to do is it's going to kind of put all these videos together into almost like a folder, and then now After Effects is going to see this as its own independent video as one solid thing. And what's really cool about pre-comps is that I can come back in and I can still edit all of these things. Next, we want to make the ball effect. Yeah, let's get down to business. We need to go into our timeline, select our pre-comp, go to Effect, Simulation, CC Ball Action. So already we have some kind of effect going on here, and basically what we've done is we've created a grid of tiny little 3D balls. I can show them to you right here, actually. So you see we have these 3D little balls here, and you can think of each ball almost like a pixel on a screen, only much bigger. Each ball is only going to represent one color, and so it kind of makes this cool pixelated, distorted representation of whatever the layer is. Alright, so once you got this looking the way that you like it, next is the part where we animate this. Well, let's start off by taking a look at what all these settings do. So the scatter will actually randomly scatter all these particles, and it looks pretty cool. You can hit Command Z to undo that. And now we have our rotation. So if we turn this little dial here, we see that this rotates, and that's pretty simple. Then we have our twist property, and this is where things get pretty interesting. If we take our twist, we get something like this going on. And so, that's kind of cool, but, it's not really all that cool. So what if we take this twist angle and we scatter it a bit, and we change the rotation, that can look pretty cool. Let me just reset this. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to take all these settings and we're going to animate them to basically recreate this animation right here. So we'll go to Comp 2 and we'll go to our scatter setting, and we'll go about 6 seconds in is when we're going to say that we want it to look like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this stopwatch here, and for anyone who isn't totally familiar with animation yet, you should know what keyframing is. Now, keyframing is basically telling the software, at this point in time, I want it to look like this, and then you can move, a certain amount of frames later. You can move up in time, and then tell the software, I want it to look like this later on. So let me give a better example of this. So this is 6 seconds in. I just laid a keyframe right here, and I've told After Effects that at exactly 6 seconds into this video, I want these balls to all be here. And After Effects says, alright, not too hard, I don't have to move anything. But now what happens when I change this setting, it scatters, it scatters, it scatters. We'll push these out really far. Alright, so now we've scattered these balls out, and we've told After Effects that I want these balls to be like this on the first frame. And so now, what After Effects is going to do is it's going to animate this value down as these frames continue. And so watch what happens. Alright, so that looks kind of cool. It's not done yet. I also want these little particles to be moving a little bit slower before they move in. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go about 2 seconds in, and I'm going to click on this, and this will add a keyframe manually. So now I'm telling After Effects that I want it to look like this at this point in time. And right now, After Effects is saying, alright, well, I don't have to change anything now, do I? But what I want is for this part to be slower and for this part to be quicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over. And now, After Effects can take more time to let the number get to this value, and it now has less time to let it get to this value. So just to show you what I mean, this keyframe represents 596 right here, right? Because that's the scatter value. And as I move this over, now this is 707. That's because this number moves down slower now, but as we get down to 0, you'll see that it moves much quicker. So, that's an interesting thing right there. And then I do kind of want it to slow down just as it's about to come together. So, right about here maybe, I'll hit another keyframe. I'll move this out. Alright, and let's select all these keyframes. Now, you'll notice that the change, you can't really see it too well, but the change is pretty abrupt. It just kind of stops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag to select all these keyframes. And I'm going to right click, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. And what this is going to do is that it's just going to kind of smoothen up the way that everything animates. So now watch how it looks. And this can have, a few problems. Like that. Not really sure why it did that. So for this, we can hit Control and use that. Alright, and that's much smoother. So the bottom line here is that sometimes just start off with Easy Ease, and then, if something isn't looking quite right, you can always Control-click on these, or, mess around with these and see what kind of results you get. Remember, After Effects is, very complicated. There's a lot of different things going on, and the best way to learn it is to always try new things when you have the time. Alright, so now for the twist. Now the twist is another really cool part of this. So let's turn on the animation for the twist. And let's twist it like a lot. Let's twist it more than I twisted it for the other one. And I want this to be 0 at this point in time, so I'm just going to hit 0 here. And I'm going to hit 0 on this end too. Oops. And all that 1x plus that, it just means that this has made a full revolution around this dial plus this many degrees. So that's what that one meant. So we're going to do something very similar because, that does look kind of cool, but I want it to be more twisty. So let's take the animation from about 240 degrees, and we'll make another keyframe in the timeline. We'll put that right there. We'll easy ease the last one, but I don't think we'll have to worry about this one right here. And now let's take a look at this. And already we have, a pretty cool looking effect. Now, something else that is really good to do with animation is it's never really good to have all the animations ending at once. It's always good to have, say, in this case, I think the twist looked best happening a little bit after this. So watch what happens when I make the twist part last a little bit longer. And, you know, it just kind of helps the animation come to a more gradual close. Alright, so I hope you guys liked this video. It was just supposed to be a little introduction to people who are new to After Effects. You know, hopefully this tutorial was just meant to not be too boring. You know, hopefully your first effect is a fun one. And, I'll see you next time.